Hi, I'm Lois Beres at KZGN-TV, and this is Ridgecrest Talk. And today I'm talking with President Jill Board from Cerro Community College. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. There's so much we want to know about our own little local college, and there's a lot of new stuff that she's going to be able to share with us. First of all, let's find out a little bit about you. How long have you been in Ridgecrest?
Well, Lois, I came to Ridgecrest in 1984.
Okay.
And during that time, I had a degree in music and in elementary education. So I substitute taught and at Sierra Sands, and which led to a full-time position
At
as
Sierra
well.
Sands?
Yeah, at Sierra Sands.
Okay.
Yes, I actually got hired to do 5th and 6th grade at Groves Elementary School.
That's a while back.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was a while back, isn't it? So, yeah, and it was during that time that I was teaching at Groves that I had to go back to school again, because that's what
teachers have
teachers
to do. Yes.
Exactly. And it was either go and get a fifth year, what they call a 5th year certificate at the time, or get a master's degree. And after teaching 5th and 6th grade for several years, I decided I needed that master's degree, regardless if I did anything else with a master's degree in counseling.
Oh, in 5th and 6th grade, that's good. Yeah. My
Yes.
degree was secondary education, and when they got smarter than me, I needed some more too. So,
So I met a lot of people along the way in that realm. I was sharing previously with you that during my substitute time, I was substituting for Coach Larry Bird when he was at the high
Okay.
school, and when I ended up at the college being hired as a counselor, lo and behold, I found my office next to Coach Larry Bird
How
coaching
about that?
basketball at the college.
it's a small world when it comes around like that, isn't
Yes.
it?
So
then-
my journey ended up that I ended up at the college in 1989.
Doing what?
I was hired as a special services counselor, and I was counseling the at-risk students, the students that come in that are not college ready, that have economic need, and possibly have disabilities. And we provided them a model program of dealing with them holistically. Instead of at some colleges, they go to one department to another department.
Right.
We dealt with them as a whole person, fancy that, as a whole person, which was interesting to me because that's exactly the model that my counseling degree was in. That's what they
Well, you fit
encouraged.
perfectly into that program.
Yeah, maybe it
then.
was meant to be, right?
I think so. Sounds like it, doesn't it? Oh, that's great.
So. I spent a good 6 years in that program.
You still have that program up there?
Oh
or-
yes, it's called
Okay.
Access Programs now.
Okay.
Absolutely. So I spent about 6 years in that program, and then Don Morton, who was the vice president, asked me if I wanted to become a faculty director. He could
Right.
assign me. What I found out is he could assign me more days, more hours,
Less money?
same pay,
Same pay,
It's an administrator job.
Oh, wow. Yes.
And but really, that was my door to open door to starting to lead
To work in
and-
administration.
Exactly. And I called myself the director from Mars.
Okay, and
Not
why is
from
that?
Of Mars, the director of Mars, because I had matriculation, which is the onboarding, what you do when you come into college as a new student.
Okay.
I was overseeing parts of that, admissions and records, and student activities and student government. It was huge. It was a big
Wow,
job.
that is a
kept me
huge
very
job.
busy, and so that's why I nicknamed it the director
Of Mars.
Of Mars.
I love
He said that was great.
Yeah, that's
Dawn,
great.
if you're out there, it was great.
Yeah, see, we saw it. We've used it. That's great.
Exactly.
And so then from there you went into administration further, or
I
did
did.
you?
I did. We went through various, I call it various organizations on different themes, and Ro Darnell became our president, and they decided to have us become deans of student learning.
Okay.
Yes, which what that did is that it was a very good theoretical idea, and it's to have college administration actually tear down the silos of instruction or academic affairs and student services, and have people starting to understand the two. And so at that point, I became a dean of student learning, and so they said, we'll give you all of student services. And I,
Hello?
and
Oh, don't forget
and
the
half
end.
of the disciplines in social sciences, performing and fine arts and English humanities. So I was their dean.
Gosh.
Well, you know, it was kind of funny.
That's a big job.
If I would have thought about it, there was a dean over at Porterville, and they were going, which is a sister college of ours, that was going through a similar reorganization, and he sent me an email. And he asked me how it was going and what were the issues. I found that email probably 2 months after he sent it. And I just responded and said, does this tell you anything?
I just found this 2 months, and I've been kind of busy in between there, right?
So anyway,
it's going.
Yeah. And so it was a great experience. I will say it was a great experience. And student services had a lot of very strong faculty leadership in it. And without their help, it probably wouldn't have worked. But it worked, and then as things change again, they decided to break it up because they saw the immense amount of work that couldn't get done by a vice president over everybody. They needed 2 vice presidents, so
or more.
Split it up, and then I interviewed and became the vice president of student services. And
alone, not the other part.
Right,
okay.
and then a vice president of academic affairs, and then we worked together on getting all of our planning and all of the required type of planning and documentation and reporting that's required for accreditation and keeping us above ground that way.
And so that became your responsibility, and then you worked there for how long?
I up until 2010. You know, it was Dr. Mary Redder came in as an interim vice president, I think in 05. I mean, our interim president in 05, and she really encouraged me to research becoming a president. And it was her development, I would say. I mean, I bit the bait, and
you took it.
She gave me direction because we were seeing, and the community knows that the chief officers of the college have done a lot of revolving doors. You know, Roe leaving, I would think that since Roe leaving in 2003-04, it was just a revolving door. So
how many presidents have there been?
Since Roe left,
yeah.
there was at least 3 in between.
Wow.
But not only that, besides me, I seem to be
We're going to have to hold that thought because we're just about to go to break.
Okay.
So we'll talk about how many presidents there were and then where you fit into that slot when we get back. We'll be back in about 2 minutes.
Very good.
Okay, we're back. You're back with Lois and President Jill Board of Cerro Community College. We were just recapping a little bit about the history of the presidents at the college and where you fit in that limit. Where were we at?
Well, we were talking about that I think we had about three presidents after Roe.
After Roe, and then
yeah, I'm actually the 8th president of the college.
Of the whole from the beginning.
Yes,
when was it started?
1973 was the planning of the building, and but there was a presence of a college here since 1951 in Quasit huts, I've been told.
Okay.
Bakersfield Desert Division, they were called.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and so yes, we established ourselves in 1973.
As Cerro Coso.
Correct.
Okay. And what does Cerro Coso mean?
Fire Mountain.
Fire Mountain, that's what I thought.
Yes.
Yeah. Way back when we had the foundation, we first called it Fire Mountain Foundation.
That's right.
Yeah. So, and then you've got this wonderful college up there with fantastic buildings and programs. Tell me a little bit about what's going on now and what is your pet up there?
Well, I will tell you that that what's trending right now and what I'm hearing is, and what I've heard since I became president, is when are you going to start offering four-year degrees? When are you going to become a university? And as many people know, legislation was passed that we can offer four-year degrees. But I will tell you that it's a pilot project. Only 15 colleges could be selected, and of the 15, you could only have one college from a district. Now, the great news is, just last night, the decision was made that Bakersfield College is going to offer a 4-year degree in industrial automation, industrial arts, which is wonderful for us and our community.
Why is that?
Because that is the direction. It's a nice tie, actually, with what's been going on with what I call Cal USA and Monarch, and it's talking about the automation of what's going on in agriculture and business. The same thing that Eileen's group is working on as well. And I say that because our students can transfer there, and it's still, the cost of education will be a lot less.
It'll be more in the realm of the community college as opposed to a 4-year college?
My understanding right now, the one thing that has been determined is that it's going to cost them $84 a unit instead of whatever the enormous amount is
I know
now
it's
at the
tremendous.
CSUs.
Yeah. My granddaughter's in college at SDSU, and it just makes my head swim when I
Yes.
hear what they have to pay.
So for us at Cerro Coso, we do offer a 4-year school, a 4-year degree, but we do it in partnership with CSU Long Beach, and that is our engineering program. And that's like the hidden secret. We graduated out of the second cohort with CSU Long Beach for engineering students that would not have been able to, could have gone anywhere, I will say. They were
Good students.
Yes, of our best and brightest that could have gone anywhere, and they graduated in December. And that program is a gem because they're guaranteed admission into CSU Long Beach. And it is held in Antelope Valley at the University Center. It's an agreement that we have with Antelope Valley and ourselves, that with Long Beach, and they sincerely are trying to help us grow our engineering base here in Ridgecrest.
That would be perfect for the base that we need to work for the base and that sort of thing.
Yes, and so no, it's not actually. I mean, if we could attract a core mass, an ongoing core mass of students that are interested in this program, CSU Long Beach would work with us to even bring those classes even up here. But it's that core mass that's very difficult, and we've the community has gotten behind us and has worked with us in establishing it, and so we're still beating the drum and wanting to grow our own engineers because we know that they know if they come here what they're coming to, and they'll be here,
and they'll be probably jobs for them when they get through, which is awesome. Don't you have something that's close to a 4-year program for nursing?
Well, we have step-up programs.
Is that what it is?
Yes, we do the LVN, and then we do an RN step-up program, and we partner with our sister college, Bakersfield, to do that.
And you do some of that online and some visually?
It is done through interactive television.
That's what I thought one time I was up there.
And they do the theory up at the college. We have a classroom, and they're doing theory with Bakersfield College students, and then they go down and Bakersfield College sends, or we have faculty here working for them in the clinicals, and the hospital gives them a space to do that.
The hospital in Bakersfield?
Oh, no, the hospital right here.
Really? All right.
Correct, yes.
Oh, that's
yeah,
good.
Hats off to
Ridgecrest Regional. That's awesome because we need those
Yes.
nurses, those students.
Yes.
That's great. And what other programs do you have that you'd like to talk about?
Well, you know, I have to say that through the economic hardships that we went through, starting in '04 and then the big recession in '08, hats off to the community, because they not only sustained our athletic programs, as small as it got down to 2, our baseball, and then we had a women's basketball, but they continued to grow and literally raise be anywhere between $30,000 to $50,000 annually, and that was assisting us in adding sports. And through the defined surveys that we have to do, we did eliminate basketball, but brought in volleyball and soccer, which fits with what's going on in the valley. And our service area, by the way, the 18,000 square miles from Mammoth Lakes down to Edwards to Hatchapee.
Just a small little area.
Yeah,
right?
that's our service area.
Is that correct?
Yeah,
Wow.
and that's what's going on. Absolutely. And I want to thank the community for their support with our athletic programs, because
We have a great bunch of people in this town.
oh man, let me tell
Really.
you, it's great for our students that are in elementary school and in high school. We open our gym to them. We have an agreement with Sierra Sands. We let them utilize the gym at little to no cost in order to bring, I mean, what a great thing for a 5th grader to play basketball in a college gymnasium.
Wow.
You know, and we're bringing back baseball camps. In fact, we're at the point now that we're we are recruiting to hire a full-time men's men's baseball coach.
Oh, because you've done such cool things with baseball up there.
Oh, let me tell you, the dog yard. It's a legacy to Dick Adams. He really
Yeah.
did come in and establish that. And we, since he retired, we've limped along using adjuncts, which has been difficult in the in everything. Walk-on coaches, I mean, they're doing it out of the passion and the love of the sport, more so than being able to make a living.
That's
It's
true.
difficult.
That's true.
So I have high hopes that we're going to bring in the right person for this community, understanding rural, wanting to grow roots in the community. That's huge.
And I've also seen a lot of recruiting because a lot of people come in because it's such a neat program up there that you
Yes.
get some students from out of the area.
Yes,
as
you know,
well as
I
around.
have to say
Okay,
that,
we're going to have to talk about this when we get
Oh.
back. I'm sorry.
okay.
We're going to go to a break. We'll be back in about 2 minutes.
all right.
Okay. Welcome back. We're here with Lois and President Jill Board, and we were into talking about baseball at the college, and you want to continue with where we were?
Yes, yes. I had mentioned earlier that we're recruiting for a full-time men's baseball head coach.
What are you
And
looking
he-
for? What?
Well, we're really looking for someone that fits into the community, that grows roots, that really connects with our schools and understands that, you know, recruitment is really difficult here and that you've got to have great recruiting skills. Because, I mean, people say, well, yes, you can serve your service area. Well, just to serve the service area, you're recruiting.
Yeah.
And I mentioned that for
How
Mammoth
huge it
Lakes.
was, 18,000 something.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's
So,
great.
and then vision. I'm really my hopes is to bring on another full-time coach in one of the women's sports as well.
That's great.
So,
That's
and then
great.
from there we'll look at, you know, we're always planning down the road to reestablish new sports that will attract the students, keep them here, make us be their college of choice, because those full-time students bring full-time students with
Sure
them.
they do. Yeah.
And honestly, that creates the life. It creates the buzz.
Gets everybody excited about something that the college is doing. and
Exactly.
that you can actually see and kick and touch and have a
Exactly.
part of it. So, but you said that the people in the community were helping with that. How did that come about?
Oh, yes. Kudos. I really need to do a shout out for Tom Heck. Tom Heck and Kimberly Kelly at the nexus of going, what are we going to do? Kim said, I'll raise the money. I've got the people to raise the money. And this was in 08, 09 time frame. No, actually, I'm sorry, it was 010 time frame. And Tom said, and I'm there to help. And this is after Tom knew that we had to go from doing women's basketball to women's volleyball or soccer. He knew we had to do that, and he was the coach. And I'll tell you, there's never been a more dedicated person to the youth of this valley and to the college.
That's great.
Honestly. So they reinvigorated the Boosters Club, which is now the Coyote Club, which is part of the foundation.
Oh, I didn't know it
And
was part
so
of the
they do their
foundation.
fundraising specifically to support athletics. And additionally, we have our foundation raising funds for programs and for scholarships for our students.
It was big scholarship program when I was there, but we didn't do the boosters. That's fantastic that they're really pushing that right now.
Yeah, actually, our foundation has gone through, I would say, they've reinvented themselves.
I think so, from what I hear.
Because it used to be they met every month, regardless. They did committee work. And so what we did is we've revised the bylaws and formed subcommittees. And those subcommittees do the committee work, looking at the finances, approving all the smaller things that you're constantly having to do, you know, the expenses, and then the scholarships. And then we have a membership and then a marketing committee. Excuse me. And they're working very well together taking on the talent. So, and then the important committee, they're all important, but
But this specific
the
important one.
fund and friend raising committee. And as some of you might know, that we established back when Dr. Retterer was president, and we've carried the torch since, the Denims and Diamonds. That's our signature event. And it's coming up.
It's coming up,
Lois.
Oh,
I just
so
want to.
cool.
People got to hold the date for Denims and Diamonds, and it's on February 28th.
Okay.
And it will be held at Kerr-McGee Center. And
tell me about it. What is it?
You know, the reason why Denims and Diamonds is so that it's an event for everybody. Mm-hmm. You can come dressed up, and boy, they do, or you can come in a pair of jeans, and if you can't get your man out of the house in a tux, bring him in a pair of jeans
and some denim, and we'll come on down.
You got it, but it's an auction. We have wonderful items to auction off for people, and last year, and we're continuing this year, is Dotsie Cronin is heading up the committee, and so we pay a little more for tickets. Tickets are $40 a person, $40 a person.
Are you going to feed them?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
That gets you a wonderful, yes.
Yeah.
And last year she did a lot more of the steak and salmon. Ah. Yes, a nicer venue. I mean, not to say tri-tip's not good.
No.
But we'll save tri-tip for the fall fundraiser we do, the barbecue. And,
there you go.
And Star Party.
Right.
And we'll do the wonderful little high-class meal. Yeah, a little wine.
With
you
your
got
diamonds, your little bits classy.
For $250, you can sponsor a table, and for 2 tickets, and then invite your other friends that
How many are in a table?
I think we have 10 at a table.
Really?
I believe it's either 8 or 10.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. But they have to buy the tickets. It's the $250 gets the couple, and then they get to bring in friends to buy the tickets to eat. And
okay.
Yeah, there you go. Because remember, this is a fundraiser.
Right.
It's not you know.
It's a fun fundraiser.
Yes,
too.
it is.
We've just had a lot of fun. We had one at the college when I was up there with the foundation, and that was fun too. But it's probably gotten too big.
Well, it has. It has.
Which is awesome that you get it.
Exactly. And then there are sponsorship tables as well, and I think that they're running around $750. I'm not sure. That's something that Natalie Durrell could tell you.
Okay, so you're going to bring them in, you're going to feed them, you're going to have a silent auction?
There'll be a silent auction. There'll be a live auction.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and then I think that the high point really is the jail. I hate to say that, but from start to finish, there's always somebody getting thrown in that jail. Then you have to pay to get them out.
So you got to get a friend to get you out of that thing. That's neat.
That's right.
And that money all goes direct to the foundation, which goes directly to your programs.
That's correct. It goes to support programs, and mostly a good portion of it, almost a complete portion of it at times, goes to scholarships. Through this reinvigoration of the foundation, we actually had our own awards ceremony in the fall this year. It hadn't done that in years, Lois. They raised they gave out, I should say, not raised, they gave out $58,000 in scholarships this last year.
Oh, that's remarkable.
It is.
That's great.
It's a huge growth.
Oh, wow.
It's a huge growth.
It truly is. I think we did like 5,000 or something when I was there. So we're down to like 1 minute. What do you need to get out to tell people can they come up and see the college?
Oh, please do. Please do. Come see the college. But I do want to say tickets. I'm going to plug tickets.
That's okay. We're Denim and Diamonds.
Red Rock Books, Chamber of Commerce, Matarango Museum, at the Cerro Coso Business Office, any of the administration, and any of the foundation members, such as Chip Holloway, the mayor, Breeden, Dotsie Cronin, Tony Damiano, and now I'm going to Jason Patton. I'm going to forget names.
Oh, that's okay, but that's all right.
But if you know,
saying names is hard.
There you go.
That's right. And the date again
is February 28th at the Kerr-McGee Center.
That's like a week from today.
It's the end of the month.
February.
February 28th.
Okay, I almost got you on the wrong month. Thank you so much for coming, and I will see you next week.